Hello and welcome to another Starman Just Watched. I am Devin, owner of this franchise.
Like hell you
You want to fight me on that one? And we will never sell out. So yes, we watched the franchise?
The founder.
The founder. I'm sorry. Yeah. The founder. So, simple plot, Billy.
How McDonald's started. There.
Yeah. That's basically it. It's a documentary on how McDonald's became the corporation that it is today. And how it originally had humble beginnings before corporate greed got in the way.
Yeah, and one cold sucker.
Yeah, one cold milkshake salesman.
Milkshake machine salesman.
Yeah, took control. Ray Kroc is the name.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember his name there. But yeah, so this is a interesting movie because you're seeing it through the side of, like, he's not a good guy.
No, like...
So you shouldn't be rooting for the main character here.
No, you should be rooting for the brothers, not...
But there are people who will say he was in the right and did more with McDonald's than they would ever have gotten. Which,
right?
Yes, you're right, but did you not see all the sleazy things he did to get here?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, the, what was the brother? Dick.
Yeah.
Who was a real dick, to be honest with you. Because he just wanted to keep McDonald's pure and unchanged, and it has to stay this way, and naysaying every innovation that Ray brings to him. So Ray was kind of put into a corner there, in my mind.
Yeah, right? Like, you kind of see his point, right?
Kind of. Which makes for a more intriguing villain
like,
when you can't really decipher, it's like, who was in the wrong here?
Yeah.
It's like, both were, but...
And poor Mac was in the middle.
Poor Mac was in the middle. Nice guy, Mac.
Yeah.
Because we'll go through. Okay, so let's start off this movie. We meet Ray. He's trying to sell milkshake machines to different restaurants.
Yeah. Keep saying no.
They keep saying no. He eventually comes across the McDonald's restaurant.
Yeah, because he checks in and they say they want 5 mixers.
They want 6 milkshake machines.
Yeah, and he's thinking 6.
No restaurant needs 6.
Then he calls, like, oh, actually, yeah, it was a mistake. We're actually going to need 8.
He's like, I gotta check this place out.
Yeah.
So he goes, and I love how flabbergasted he is with the whole thing. He's like, okay, so I walk up to place my order.
Yeah.
And he's waiting in line. He looks at his watch and the lady goes, don't worry, you won't go very long.
Yeah.
And he's like, alright. And as he gets up there, he's like, can I get a hamburger, fries, and a cola?
Yeah. 25 cents.
Here you go. Here's your meal. The fuck? I just ordered. This can't be mine. But it is.
Well, where do I go to eat this?
The park, your car, you stand right there over there if you want. I don't tell you anywhere. He's like, where's the tray and the plates and that? It's like, oh, it's all wrapped. You just take it out of the wrapper and eat it.
Yeah, like...
And I like that because any of the older people know about the car diner roller girls, we call them.
The drive-ins.
The drive-ins, yes. Wasn't fully around for that time, but I did see stories, and we had one that converted into an actual sit-in restaurant in where I lived. It used to be a roller girl thing, but they updated it, we'll say, because that was going out of style. And best milkshakes in town.
Nice.
Then, so he's like, alright, so I have a wrapper. He sits on the bench. A family sits beside him. And he sees, like, the convenience of, like, why being in a wrapper is good, because you can just move quickly out of the way, or...
Yeah, you don't have to pick up a bunch of things.
No, you don't have to, like, pack up your stuff or worry about things spilling.
So...
Yeah. And as he's sitting there, he meets the owner.
Yeah.
And Mac.
Yeah.
And Mac's nice guy Mac is like, hey, I'll take you in if you want to see how the restaurant runs.
Yeah.
Which already I'm like, Mac, no, stop that.
No.
You shouldn't do that. Because as they say later in the movie,
yeah. How many people have you invited in,
and tried to steal your idea?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, plenty, but
Now they made it.
no, they'll make it. And we'll explain a lot later, but so Max shows him in, and he tells him the story of how they revolutionized the kitchen area.
The speedy system.
The speedy system, which is still active to this day, just modified.
Yeah.
But as a 3-year employee for McDonald's,
Yes.
this is a movie I maybe shouldn't watch. Because I was looking at that kitchen, I was like, nothing changed.
Oh my god.
Other than how the burgers were made, nothing changed.
Yeah.
I like that the dispensers for mustard and ketchup, we made those and we're never changing those. And then we meet Dick, who is a more straight-edged, very protective of this company, or this restaurant. And also kind of the brains behind this.
Yeah.
He came up with the system.
Yeah. Drew it all out on a tennis court.
Yes, that was impressive, because he had employees enacting like how that would look.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you just get the pickles.
Yeah, like even down to like, you gotta put pickles on that burger. It's like, I'm just acting. There's no real pickles here. We're pretending.
Yeah, because I think he did it, what, 3 times? Like, changed it?
Yeah, he changed it 3 times because he's like, it could be better. And that was the whole goal. Was like, I want it to be as fast as possible.
Yeah. And he even was particular with the french fries.
Yes. That was one thing. He's very OCD, I felt.
Yeah, 5% too crispier.
Yeah. How do you tell 5% too crispy?
Yeah, I know, right? Like,
and he gets voted down by Mac and Ray, and they're like, no, these are perfect fries. Like, well, don't touch this. And eventually Ray gets the idea of like, this could be a thing, let's make this a thing, it has to be a franchise.
And they were.
And
they already did it.
They already did it. They failed.
Yeah.
Because it was hard to keep quality in distant locations.
Yeah.
So.
There's one restaurant sold burritos.
Yeah. Completely different menu from what they had. And that's what they want to avoid is, like, if it's the McDonald's name, we want it to be burgers.
Yeah.
And that makes sense, because if you're McDonald's in South America, we'll say, is selling tacos, and they come up to McDonald's in North America, and that McDonald's don't sell tacos, there's confusion.
Yeah. Okay?
Yeah. So Ray goes around, and Ray has a bit of a reputation already as a failed salesman.
Yeah, because he just gives a different long
areas, and they're like, "Do I know you?"
And each of them was from something different he sold.
Yeah, like vacuums,
like cups, like
the paper cups,
the kitchen bed, whatever.
Yeah, the kitchen bed.
Yeah,
you can have your meal in bed.
Yeah. This is what you kind of reminded me of Gil from The Simpsons.
Yes. Like, when I first met the guy, I was like, I got the Gil jokes out.
Oh, yeah.
And then after I watched it, I was like, wow, he really is modeled off Gil from The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Until a point, and then he changes.
He changed from Gil to Mr. Burns.
Pretty much.
Good analogy?
Good analogy. I'll allow it.
Yeah.
He goes from Gil to a Herb to a Mr. Burns.
I like that.
Yeah.
Very good analogy.
Thank you. So what he does is he has to mortgage the house, and he like lives with a loving wife who usually supports everything he does. And they're actually of the higher class group, somewhat. Like they hang around with them, but
yeah, they want in that.
They want in that club life.
Yeah.
Where they go golfing and go to fancy restaurants and take exotic trips.
Yeah. Well,
she wants that.
Yeah, because I think they asked him. She's like, "Oh, space." Like, oh, so that was. Oh, I've never been, but think about it.
Thinking about it. And Ray realizes like that's not where I want to be. Those aren't the people that are going to get me ahead.
No.
Because they're very like grubby with their money.
Yeah.
And nearly laughed my idea at the restaurant.
Yeah, like they were him doing at the club and just.
Yeah. He's like, "Oh, I have this great business idea if you guys want in on it." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, what is it, Ray?" Well, you remember the fast food restaurant? Oh, yeah, go on. As I'm, like, not paying attention.
Yeah, like...
So, mortgages the house, manages to open up a few restaurants with it.
Mortgages the house, and doesn't tell the wife.
Doesn't tell the wife. That was... I was worried about that. I was like... It's... Because it cuts to a scene where she's facing away from him in bed.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, she is not happy with your decision to mortgage the house. And then we find out later, it's like, oh, he never told you.
I was like, a man with a bank called.
Yeah. And we're 3 months late on our mortgage payment?
After you mortgage the house. Oh, see?
I'm really invested in this. So, we'll skip ahead a little bit here. He gets the franchise up and running. He manages to find a way to assure quality assurance.
Yeah, because he showed up one of them selling fried chicken.
Yeah, and he was not happy with that.
And the way they made and they had lettuce in the burger.
Yeah. No. 2 pickles, mustard, ketchup, onion. That's all that goes on a McDonald's burger. So, it's kind of hard to explain how he does the financing thing, but basically, the person finances the restaurant and they run it, but they have to run it under his spec.
Yeah.
And if they don't, then he can shut down that restaurant or find a replacement.
Franchising, yeah.
Yeah. And it all goes well until he starts realizing, I'm not making money out of this.
No.
I have no capital.
Yeah, no, because he realized, too, that he's not just selling, that he's selling land.
Yeah, I was getting to that.
Sorry.
Thanks for jumping ahead.
Sorry. My bad.
Yeah. But yeah, so he goes to the bank. He's 3 months late on his mortgage rent. He's trying to find a way to get around that. And he's like, well, I own this company that's doing very well. It's like, yeah, but can you prove that you own it? Can you give us any assets of it? He's like, well, no. Then he's like, well, it's no good to you then. But a guy in the next cubicle over hears the plight, and he's like, I'm a fan of your restaurant.
Yeah.
And I would like to see why you're not making money out of this, because a franchise like yours should be making tons of money.
Like,
so where did you go wrong? And did you want to tell them how where you went wrong? Because you kind of cut me off.
I apologize. No, it just says like because he would have the owners buy the franchisees buy the land.
Yeah.
No.
You buy the land and let the
lease it out.
Yeah. And then you make pretty much double the money.
Yeah.
He's like, well, that's great and all. And then there's also the issue with frozen ice cream.
Yeah, it's
too expensive to store.
Yeah.
Because those freezing containments cost way too much money to run.
Yeah. And then later on,
he meets his new wife.
Yeah.
Well, she gives the idea of like, well, you can make powdered milkshakes.
Yeah.
It tastes just like the same thing. You can store it in the back. You don't need a freezing unit.
And boy, was Dick livid.
Yes. This is, he's like, we could be saving so much money if we switched over to this. He's like, no, milkshakes contain milk. So there's got to be a frozen milk product in our milkshakes.
Mm-hmm.
And was against it. And I think that was the breaking point
Yeah,
for Ray. So Ray starts buying up lands for each McDonald's location and starts leasing them out. And eventually buys out all of McDonald's except for that one location that Dick and Mac run. And since, or he, how did Dick find out about the milkshakes?
Oh, one
of the other restaurants
called him.
Yeah. And Dick calls Ray. He's like, yeah, so one of my restaurants called me and said they got this shipment in for powdered milkshakes.
Oh, they weren't supposed to be there till Friday.
Okay, yeah. Like, I love that he's like completely ignoring Dick's concerns at this point. He's just being an asshole about this. And he's like, who did you send them all to? He's like, everyone but you.
Yeah.
If you guys want to run your operation with actual milk, go be my guest, but the other franchises have the right to run them how they want. I was like, well, that's not in our contract. Yeah, we're going to have to negotiate that.
Well, you see them contracts are like hearts.
They're meant to be broken. Yeah.
And you're like, oh boy.
I was like, alright, I'm seeing the dark side of Ray.
Yeah.
So we'll jump ahead to the legalese section.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So Dick does a dirty trick. Or not Dick, Ray, sorry. Ray does a dirty trick. We're going to have a handshake agreement for that 1% revenue of royalties. Because, well, if my franchisers see that, they're not going to be on board with it.
Yeah, so we gotta keep them happy.
We gotta keep them happy, or all of this falls apart and none of us get anything. And they reluctantly shake hands. Now, I'm going to rewind a little bit because we did skip over something important.
Yeah. Mac's hospital.
Yeah, Mac has a near heart attack.
Oh, he's diabetic.
Oh, diabetic. So, a diabetic?
I
think it was a near heart attack because he was wondering about like stress, food, and all that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Mac was sent to the hospital thanks to Ray's shenanigans.
Yeah.
Nice guy, Mac.
Yeah, I know. Well, like,
yeah.
And who pays them to visit?
This is where I was like, you have balls, sir. Ray walks in, gives them flowers and a blank check.
Yeah.
Because he's going to buy out the name. And they just sit there and they're like, we can't beat him on this. Like, so we might as well do what we can to take as much from him as possible.
Yeah.
Which, $3.5 million?
Yeah, well, 1 point something million.
Yeah, each.
Yes, I think you're...
Yeah, so it totaled up to like 3.5.
Yeah.
Because it was like $2 million each plus taxes.
Yeah.
And a 1% cut of all revenue for royalties.
Yeah. On that sturdy handshake.
Oh, on a sturdy handshake.
Oh.
And they agree to it.
And they never see a dime.
Nope. Because the handshake can't be proven legally, they can't get a dime of it.
And that would be worth $100 million a year today.
So, oh, that's dirty.
Yeah, that is.
Also, just the conversation Dick and Ray have in the bathroom with we touched on this at the start where they're like, how many people did you show that kitchen to?
Yeah.
And they're like, a lot, but no one could ever do anything with it. He's like, that's because that's not what was important. The name itself is what sells it all.
Yep.
Because when you think McDonald's, you think America.
Yeah.
Which, got a point. The name does sell a lot.
Yes.
And that's about it.
Yeah.
So, things we like about the movie.
I mean, it shows like both sides of like.
I like that it didn't just paint Ray as the biggest dick villain in the history of corporations.
Yeah.
They showed his humble beginnings to how he got there, and that, yeah, he kind of gets pushed around a bit.
Yeah, because I can see people going into this who don't know the history of it.
Yeah.
Thinking, oh, okay, this is like gonna be a feel-good rags to riches story.
No, it's not.
No.
Or going into it thinking, it's like, okay, we're going to watch how evil corporations are, and this is how sleazy they can all be. And it's like, no, this had a good... They're humans too, but they want to get ahead just as much as any other corporation.
Yeah.
So, Ray, yes, did some sleazy things, but so do a lot of other corporations. It's kind of the nature of the beast.
Yep.
I think he said it best when he's like, I am willing to destroy my competition. If my competition is drowning, I'm running over there with a hose.
Yeah.
Can you say the same, Mac? And Mac's like, no, I can't, nor would I want to. And that's the difference between us.
Yep. Good quote, right?
Yes. Things we didn't like about the movie.
Yeah, no, this is... Because like I said, this is hard because it's also inside the true story, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
You can't really hate the true story, unfortunately. No. It's not pretty.
No.
As much as you love... If you love McDonald's, its history is not pretty. But if you dig around any corporation, the history's not pretty.
Oh, no. And then one thing that you touched there at the end...
Yeah.
When they had... Since they had moved McDonald's from their... restaurants.
Yeah, there's the heartbreak. I was going to leave that as the end thing, but the final thoughts.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll do the final thoughts now.
Yeah, because can you think of anything?
I can't think of anything really that bad.
Yeah.
Like, for a documentary, you can't criticize a documentary hard because it's being accurate to the truth.
Like, that's the thing, like, so the biography movies, you can't...
Yeah. The pacing, I could touch on a little bit, but other than that, not much. But yes, the final thought was the balls of rain at the end.
The 100th
store.
So.
Yeah, the 100th story opens right next to
right across from Dick and Mac's original
store. And of course it puts them out of business. Which, like, the crushing blow.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, you couldn't even just let them have that.
No. Right? Like...
It's...
Like, that's the gut... That's the gut punch ending right there.
Yeah. That's breaking your heart right there. But with that, though, we'll call the episode here, so thank you all very much for listening in. And until next time, have a good one.
Hey, what's the good thing is, they didn't put milk in... They put milk back in the milkshakes.
Yep. We can have frozen milk down in the milkshakes. So end on a happy note.
Yeah.